Hi, it's Kirsty from Fit4Dogs Canine Hydrotherapy Centre here, and we're going to be chatting with Hattie from the Golden Past Company, all about Golden Past. And I know a lot of our clients use Golden Past all the time, and they absolutely love it for their dogs. And so we're just going to be talking. So tell us about the Golden Past Company and how it started.
Sure. So we're a small company. We're actually family business based in North Yorkshire. The Golden Past Company was actually first set up by a lady who believed in the powers of turmeric for her whole family, actually, and started incorporating it into their diets. Her son had really bad asthma and got really great results from turmeric. It then developed into an equine product. She had a horse, and her horse had very bad joints, so started using the Golden Past on her horse's joints, and then it's sort of gone from there, really.
Oh, that sounds great. That's really good. If you guys have got any questions or anything like that, just put them in the comments and we'll be able to answer any of those questions. So you said it's, for horses, and she sort of found the benefits. What sort of benefits are there from Golden Past?
So the Golden Past, well, in general, turmeric has many benefits. So turmeric's actually a spice that's been used in India for thousands and thousands of years. For its benefits. So turmeric's made up of over 200 compounds, and the main active compound within turmeric is something called curcumin. So when you're reading up about turmeric, curcumin will come up quite a lot, and that's just because it's the most scientifically researched element of turmeric. We believe that it's important to get the full root of turmeric. So you get the curcumin, but you get all of the other compounds benefits as well. So within the curcumin, the essential oils, so there's something called terpenoids, they have a role to play in the whole inflammation cycle, I guess. So all of the anti-inflammatory properties that turmeric has comes from that essential oil bit of curcumin. You've then got something called polyphenols, and the polyphenols within the curcumin actually act as the antioxidant within turmeric. So quite a lot of people see turmeric and they link turmeric and arthritis together, but actually it's got a whole reap of benefits. So our Golden Past has benefits for joint health, but really anything that plays a part in the inflammation cycle. So can have benefits with coat and skin conditions, general well-being. I mean, I personally take turmeric myself, and I actually was taking it for my digestion, so it can be beneficial for digestion as well. But a lady actually said to me, she said, "Oh, when was the last time that you had a cold?" And I was like, "Do you know what? I've not had a cold ever since I started taking turmeric." So it's really good to boost your natural defense mechanisms within your system, or within your dog's system, within your horse's system. So to answer your question, it's got a whole reap of benefits. So if you're considering it, I'd definitely suggest giving it a go.
Yeah, no, that sounds really good. And there's a few other ingredients in there, isn't there? So
I've got a paste here. So that's what it looks like. So within our Golden Past, there is turmeric. We actually get our turmeric from Indonesia, just because we find it a purer form than turmeric from India. So when turmeric started to get really popular, what we found was there was quite high quantities of lead being put into turmeric that we're getting from India. So we actually get ours from Indonesia because it's a more pure form. Turmeric's not water soluble, so in order to actually get it into your dog's system, it needs to be fed with a fat soluble source. So within our Golden Past, we choose a coconut oil in here. So it's turmeric, coconut oil, and then the third ingredient that we put in is freshly cracked pepper. So turmeric's really poorly absorbed, and the freshly cracked pepper increases the bioavailability of the turmeric, but also the absorbency rate. So once it's in your dog's system, they excrete it very quickly, and the black pepper enhances that absorption. So they have more of a chance to absorb the turmeric to then get the benefits of the turmeric. We've also got in here apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar has a vast amount of benefits, and we've also got cinnamon in there as well. So cinnamon's got high quercetin levels, which again assists that bioavailability and absorption. And it also helps with the smell, because we a few people say when they start feeding their dog turmeric, they start smelling. I mean, I've never experienced it with our dogs, but the cinnamon sort of helps that side effect.
Oh, excellent. Now, we've got some dogs who absolutely love the taste of it. And like Labradors, they'll just eat anything.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of fussier dogs. Have you got any tips on how you might be able to give it to them?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, in terms of the paste, you can either just put it into their dog food, and that is, like you said, that's fine for your animals that will eat anything, like your labs, your pugs, that sort of breed. For your fussier dogs, I would recommend you could maybe disguise it. So maybe in like a little cocktail sausage, you could literally, because it's only a small feeding rate, so you can slit a bit in the cocktail sausage and pop it in there, wrap it in a piece of ham, some pate, disguise it that way. Alternatively, if your dog is really fussy, so we do have a few customers that say they just won't touch the paste, because it is quite, well, it's a spice that's used in curries, so it's not exactly a subtle taste. We have got our turmerics. Kirsty, I don't know whether do you stock our turmerics?
I haven't yet, no.
So if you've got any customers that the dogs won't eat the paste, you could try the turmerics. And this was one of the reasons why we launched these. So they're little slices.
Oh, yeah.
It's filling everywhere. And these are turmeric based on sweet potato, so they're hyperallergenic. And they're chicken. And so the fussiest of dogs do eat these. We've had customers with really fussy dogs, like whippets, and they love them. But they've got all the ingredients in there as well to make the turmeric bioavailable. So the philosophy behind the Golden Past Compay is really we only ever launch products that work, and that the animal is actually going to be able to use a turmeric because of all the bioavailability ingredients put in there, if that makes sense. So to go back to your question, you can try to disguise it in different types of food, and if you don't have any luck with that, then I guess you could maybe try our turmerics, which are tasty turmeric slices.
Excellent. No, that sounds really good. We've got a question here from Beck, and she says, I've got a rescue pug who has been with me since Valentine's Day.
Aww.
So he's 9 and never been for a walk. His exercise routine is successfully, carefully building, which is quite nice. Would he benefit from Golden Past?
Yeah, I don't know whether you know the background, Beck, of the pug, but obviously with him being a rescue, I guess he may have issues. And turmeric, like I said, when a dog is in a stress response, whether you're in a stress response or your dog's in a stress response, that's when the inflammation cycle then is kicked off. So definitely 100%, I'd recommend starting off with the Golden Past. Like with anything that you're adding into your dog's diet that's new, introduce it really slowly. So I'd suggest, first of all, trying the paste if he's not fussy. I'm assuming because he's a pug, he might not be fussy, but they're all different. So yeah, so you start off with a pea size amount, and then depending on his weight, you'd probably up it to about 1/4 teaspoon twice a day. And it can be used also as a preventative. But yeah, I'd definitely say give it a go.
I mean, the other good thing about, you don't actually need much of it, do you? You know, like that, you've got the big pouch there. So that would probably last you maybe 4 weeks or something like that. Yeah,
so there's two sizes. So there's 100 grams and 200 grams. Kirsty, do you stock?
Yeah, I've got both sizes.
Yeah, Kirsty's got both. So within the 200 grams, there's about, I think we've worked out that there's 20 teaspoons.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if you're feeding quarter of a teaspoon twice a day, it is going to last you a fair while.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how long, because my maths isn't that.
We're going to have a maths quiz now.
But yeah, it's really good value for money, and you're right, you only need a small quantity to make a difference. Within the feeding guidelines, it is quite difficult because there's not really been that much scientific research or clinical trials done within animals. It's all sort of anecdotal evidence. So we've worked on the basis of what's been done within humans, and basically we've gone from there. So we've based it on how we work the feeding guidelines out is through metabolic rate, and in terms of results, everyone has different results. You'll know when you're feeding too much of it because the dog can get the runs. So that's why I say always introduce it slowly. And then go from there, and then you can increase the amounts until you actually see like the desired effects.
Yeah, and I suppose it's quite good because it is a natural product. You know, it is quite nice to be able to know that you're giving yourself and your dog those natural products as well, which is quite nice. We've got another question here from Lucy. Would it help my dog that is pain with elbow dysplasia? She's an old lab, and so she definitely needs to come.
Yes, Lucy, absolutely. I mean, we have a lot of customers with the same problem as your lab. So elbow dysplasia, hip dysplasia, again, it goes back to that inflammation. Same with arthritis. So what I would do is I'd suggest incorporating the paste into your dog's food. I don't know whether you're feeding any sort of joint supplements or anything like that alongside. Turmeric is fine to feed alongside it. If anything, it's more of a natural anti-inflammatory. I know obviously vets and things can give you anti-inflammatory drugs, and with the paste is actually fine to feed alongside. And what turmeric does is it targets that inflammation. So I say 100% give it a go and see whether you see results. I hope that helps.
Yeah, and I think it's each individual dog is different, and as they go through stages of life, they need different things at different amounts of time. So I think definitely if your dog is needing it, it's a good idea to give it a go, isn't it? For sure.
Yeah, I think so. And I think it just goes back. I mean, we have everyone, I'd say probably nearly 100% of our customers that start turmeric see some kind of result.
Yeah.
A positive result. In terms of actually how positive, that ranges from person to person, dog to dog, horse to horse, because we do it across the full range. I mean, we've had some people that have had slipped discs and backs on tramadol themselves, and it's completely transformed their lives. We've had other people say, yeah, I take it, and actually when I stop taking it, that's when I notice a difference. So I think obviously with, you just want to make your dog as comfortable as possible. And it's not like dogs can speak and say, right, I'm in loads and loads of pain. You just want to, give them something that is going to make them feel more comfortable.
Oh, that's really good. Excellent. Now, obviously, with the pouch being quite big, how do you store it once you start using it? It's opened.
So yes, I don't know. So if you look at the pouch here, so we designed the pouch so it's got a really easy to use screw top. So it just means once it's opened, you can then put the screw top back on, and you can obviously keep it fresh. So once opened, we suggest keeping it no longer than 6 weeks. Unopened, it's a year. So, and you can also freeze it as well if you're going through it too slowly. In terms of actually storage, we suggest under 20 degrees because it's mixed with the coconut oil. What we find is through summer, it actually might be better to keep it in the fridge. Just because I don't know whether any of you guys cook with coconut oil. So if you've got a jar of coconut oil in your cupboard through the winter, it's solid. and then through the summer, depending on how warm our summer's going to be, it does go runny. So sometimes it can be a slightly runnier consistency that when you store it in hotter temperatures. So I suggest through summer I'd actually just keep it in the fridge, and then just in a dark cupboard, I guess, under 20 degrees.
Excellent. Cool. What sort of other products do you have?
So for dogs, so we've got the paste, which comes in 2 sizes. We then developed the Turmeric. So that's a 300-gram tube. The Turmeric is a slightly higher speckle product. It's got the same amount of turmeric in. Instead of a coconut oil, it's actually mixed with the linseed. So linseed's rich in omega-3s and omega-6s. So if you're feeding turmeric for a dog that's got skin and coat problems, I'd probably suggest using the Turmeric. We've also added yucca in there. So yucca is a plant extract, which is really good for the microflora of the gut. So that aids digestion, which turmeric does anyway. It's just a sort of an added bonus. And then their chicken, they've got a high meat content chicken, and they're based on sweet potato, so they're hyperallergenic, and they come in slices like this, so they're really easy to feed. They are slightly more expensive, but like I was saying, great for your fussier type of dogs.
Yeah, but you get quite a few in there, wouldn't you?
There's about 200 slices in the tube. So for a small dog, for a dog that's about 10 kilograms, that would last you around 50 days.
Yeah, so that's quite good, isn't it?
It's good value. Yeah, it's good. They are good
value. Yeah.
And then we've got the capsules as well. So these are great for, I suppose, like your labs, your larger type dogs that are normally fine just taking a capsule. Or alternatively, you can open the capsule and sprinkle it onto the dog's food. Whatever works best. So these are your standard size sort of capsules, I guess.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's quite hard to see the size on the camera, but I take these every day, so they're easy to take. And in here there's turmeric. Again, we use flax, so that's for the oil, for the absorption, and you've got the black pepper in there as well, which increases the bioavailability of the turmeric and the absorption rate as well. So we'd suggest for a small dog, you'd start off with 1 capsule a day. For a medium dog, 1 or 2, and then for a large dog, 3. But like I was saying, with the feeding guidelines, just see how you get on.
Right.
Up it accordingly until, yeah.
And is there any calories in there? Because obviously, if we've got dogs who are on weight loss programs.
Yeah, no, it's a very good point. No, they're absolutely fine if you're on weight loss programs. So if you go on our website, you can actually get all of the analytical can't say that word, analytical content is all it's all available on our website. But yeah, they're fine for the larger dogs. And I suppose with your hydrotherapy, you'll get a lot of dogs with arthritis. Is that the main problem that you have, or?
Yeah, we get a lot of dogs with arthritis, hip dysplasia, and also sort of a lot of spinals, cruciate ligament operations as well, so recovery from cruciates. So having the turmeric alongside that is quite nice, especially for the anti-inflammatory. And especially for our older arthritic dogs, they seem to benefit from it. We did have one dog who had elbow dysplasia, and he's made really good progress.
Good.
Which is really good.
No, that's fab. That's really good to hear.
Kate asks, will it work for arthritis and ear infections? We're just talking about.
Interesting. So arthritis, 100%. Like I was saying, the majority of our customers do actually feed it for arthritis. So introduce it into, I don't know whether it was for UK or your dog, but whether it's for you or your dog, introduce it slowly. With the ear infection, I suppose I guess it depends on what the root cause of it is. So with something like an ear infection, I would always say monitor it. Either go to your doctor or your vet, whether it's for you or your dog, find out what the root cause of it is, and then I guess, yes, you can take turmeric. If it's inflamed, you should see a result on the inflammation side, definitely.
No, that's good. And then we've got Lucy, and she's asking, do you sell them for human consumption? We don't at Fit4Dogs, but
you can get it
I
do. Yeah, so actually, do you stock the dog turmeric capsules, Kirsty?
No, I just stock the big and small pastes.
But if you have any customers that want to try it out, obviously we can send you some. So with rheumatoid arthritis, yeah, absolutely, we've got, again, loads of people taking it. Some people have an amazing results, some people have average results. It just depends on how responsive your body is to natural anti-inflammatories, I guess. But you can take the paste yourself. So we actually do a human version of this online. However, if you're already using it for your dog, it's exactly the same product, it's just got a different label on it. So you can use your dog's paste. Or alternatively, we've got the capsules, and the capsules, again, they're actually the same product with a different label on. So if you're already feeding the capsules to your dog, then you can start taking those as well. So the answer is yes.
Perfect.
And try it out, because it should help.
Yeah, and I think the good thing about it, because it's a natural product, you can try it, can't you? And then, just really, see what the benefits are for you and yourself, which is really good.
Yeah, I think so. And obviously we were speaking earlier, Kirsty, it's funny how everyone always talks about their dog's arthritis and then they go back to themselves after.
Yeah. Well, we always think our dogs before ourselves, don't we? So yeah, that's really good. Cool. Was there anything else? Just trying to think. I've done all my questions, I think we've covered quite a lot there. So we've covered, obviously, the paste, we've covered the different benefits that it has, and the questions. So yeah.
I think a question that we get quite a lot is it okay to feed to puppies? Or okay to feed to dogs that are just in general health? And I think that's a really important one to cover off, because quite often people will have a problem and then deal with the problem rather than thinking of the preventative towards that problem. So there has been a recent study on turmeric that can act as a preventative. So could be supplemented alongside something like glucosamine. That could be quite a powerful preventative. So absolutely, with puppies, we just recommend halving the feeding guidelines. And it's like going back to, any dog can be in a stressful environment that then flames off that inflammation cycle. So because turmeric's got the antioxidant properties and the anti-inflammatory properties, yeah, absolutely feed it to your healthy dog, because you never know, anything can upset them. So so
no, it's really good. Think about that, especially when we do have sort of like stressful, maybe sort of like November the 5th is coming up, and sort of like some stressful times coming around, or if your dog sort of is going into a stressful situation, then maybe you can help her, by having that turmeric. And if they have been having turmeric all their life, then it's going to be in their system, isn't it? Which would be quite good. I was just asking, how long does it take to get into the system?
So that's a really good question. We say that there's no loading dose, so it should be pretty effective. But like I was saying, because turmeric's poorly absorbed, with the Golden Past Company's products, you can be certain that it is actually getting into their system, and it is a product that's bioavailable. So quite often with a lot of turmeric products on the market, you look and they don't have oil in, they don't have a pepper in, so it's literally you're just putting it in one end and coming out the other end. So how long until you see results? Again, it depends on your dog's response to natural anti-inflammatories. What I'd suggest is because you build it up as well, so you don't get to the right feeding rate until maybe after your first couple of weeks. So I'd say wait until your first couple of weeks before you disregard it. But quite often people see results sort of instantly. So
yeah, and every dog's going to be different, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Bex has got another one. She's saying about eczema, and we're supposed to talk about some skin conditions before, didn't we?
Yeah. So actually, so the lady, oh no, that was asthma. Actually, sorry, I was getting mixed up. Yeah. So eczema. So turmeric, again, anti-inflammatory, targets that inflammation cycle. We've actually had a lot of people with psoriasis, and it's really helped with psoriasis. So again, it's something that I'd give it a go, definitely.
Yeah.
But not topically. We believe that it heals from the inside out. Because I think with skin conditions, you always want to put something on it. So obviously with eczema, I guess you want to put on something on it for its soothing properties, I guess. But no, it heals from the inside out. So I'd definitely 100% give it a go. I actually had a friend who had really, really bad, we weren't sure there was eczema or psoriasis, but it got really bad through winter. And he couldn't believe the difference with it. And with things like that, it's difficult because it can arise through so many different variables, whether it's stress, whether it's weather related. There's obviously different types. But what I would say is turmeric, I guess, helps bring the inflammation.
Yeah. And as you say, if it's healing from the inside out, you know, we all know that, you know, what we're putting into our body, you know, and eczema is obviously a product of, you know, it's coming out of the body. So it will definitely help. And the thing is, you know, you can give it a go, and it's getting the right thing for your dog as well, isn't it? Which is really good.
I think so. Yeah.
So if anyone's got any more questions, we've got some people there. We'll just see if they've got any more questions or anything like that. But yeah, so what I'll do is I'm going to put the products on my Facebook page, so you'll be able to purchase them off my Facebook page, and then I can just post them out to anybody who might want it. But if you want any, I suppose, if you want any of the human products, they could go to your website. Or do you have stockers?
Yeah. They can go to our website to purchase the human products.
Yeah.
And all the dog products.
Yeah.
From you, Kirsty. And if you do have a number of customers that are wanting to try it themselves, then I guess just let us know, and then obviously you can always purchase the human from Kirsty as well.
Yeah, I can definitely organise that. That's quite easy to do.
But yeah,
Harrogate, so you're not far away.
No, not too far away.
That's great. Oh, thanks so much for that. That was amazing, and we've got some really good information there. And thanks so much for chatting away today.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.